hanging out with the Wood Brothers Racing, Harrison Burton, before we hit the road here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been a while since I talked to you last.
Yeah.
It was the last next-gen test at Phoenix Raceway. I mean, look at this. We already talked about the Wood Brothers swag, but back then you were telling me you were still buying your throwback gear off the website.
I did.
How has the throwback game improved for you over the past couple of years?
I don't know. I mean, I've always got old school stuff on. I might get in trouble because like I have my sponsor polo on underneath, but like I always like to wear the old school Wood Brothers stuff. But you know, it's cool. It's part of this team's heritage, and I don't have to buy it off the website anymore, so that's cool. I guess I've paid my dues enough to where they'll give me some hoodies and stuff, which is awesome. So I love it. I love driving for this team for that reason, and just matches the whole team's kind of energy. Is just kind of a bunch of old school racers, and it's a lot of fun to kind of be out here and racing for that group for sure.
So the throwback game is growing, and also the on-track product as well. You're in your second year, almost 2 years through. Now that we've had a couple years with this next-gen car, how have you seen yourself grow, yourself improve, both on and off the track the past 2 years?
Yeah, well, I mean, 2 years is a long time, and especially in this kind of world, it kind of flies by. And you know, you look back on the first few days of so many questions about the car, about yourself, about everything, and now you're kind of more settled in, right? And you can kind of build off of all the little things you've done throughout the year and the year prior, and you have I have a notebook now, which is awesome. Like, you know, when we first started this whole deal, I had no idea about mostly everything. I didn't know who I was racing, I didn't know the car I was in, I didn't know some of the tracks we went to, and now I at least have a notebook and stuff to kind of build off of, and there's a sense of comfort in that, and you know, it makes the race weekend seem a lot easier, a lot less stressful for sure.
And you talked a lot about your dad, Jeff Burton, not just the former driver, but also the NBC analyst as well. And, you know, you talk about how he kind of separates Mr. Dad and Mr. TV analyst. But what does he do to kind of poke and prod you? A racer's a racer. He wants more info on the next-gen car. How does he do that?
Yeah, he just calls me and or comes to my house or whatever, and he'll just like open the door and be like, hey, I have this question about this, and you know, I'll answer it and tell him the truth. And normally he'll say it on TV, and I'm like, I'll watch Race Fact the next week. I'm like, I know where he heard that from. So
you need to tell him, as a journalist, he needs to cite his sources,
yeah,
right?
Man, say I heard from my son Harrison that this is the case. You know, got to give me some credit. But you know, honestly, for him, he's been in the sport so long. He could go to so many other people. I think it's just easy for him to call me, and I'm obviously pretty plugged into it. So it's an easy phone call for him to make. I'm an easy source, and he knows I'm not going to tell a lie to him. So it's a fun little deal. Like, just you can tell. I'm like, yep, reporter hat's on, dad hat's on. It definitely switches every now and then in the middle of a conversation. I'm like, yep, you're a reporter right now. So you know, I have a good time messing with him about that, and he does a good job of kind of being unbiased, I think, in the TV broadcast, which is important to him. But to me, it's like, man, you gotta give me some love, man. You gotta help me out on TV. But he's mostly negative talking about me, which is fine. That's how he is normally, so it's cool.
Well, the sophomore season almost done for Harrison Burton. Already announced he'll be back with the Wood Brothers again in the 21 next year.